Hi everyone, it's Lisa. Thanks for joining me today. In today's video, I'm going to be making this card using the Forever Friends Center Step Up card die set from the Stamps of Life. And it looks like this. So you have your large die that actually makes the card base. You also have the layering die, which is this piece here. You also get some flowers like a flower border and another little fun die that I'll show you how to use that. There's some more flowers in here. There's some leaves. There's also some words, and the words say friends forever and thanks. So I'm starting out my card by using this pattern paper from the Adore collection paper pad, and I also took a piece of grape cardstock from the Stamps of Life and cut out the actual card base. So with this ice cream truck pattern paper from the paper pad, I am cutting out the layering dies. So I have the two small squares that I'm putting there in the middle, and then the large layering piece. So die cut all of those out using my die cutting machine. I'm also bringing in the best buds to stamp, but I'm only using the dies. So you can see on the table there that I did die cut the shadow layer out of the white and then the top layering piece out of the ginger snap. Now with that layering piece with the ice cream trucks, I'm just inking up the edges with some grape ink just to add a little bit of contrast to that white paper. And then I'm going to take my ginger snap ink and just add some contrast to these bears. So I did die cut both of the bears. They are bears facing opposite directions, so they actually can sit back to back. And here I'm just sticking a piece of scrap paper underneath the side of the bear just so that I can get more ink on where those cuts are in the cardstock. So I do it again for the neck and just make sure I get good coverage with that ink just to add some dimension. I like using this die set, cutting out cardstock, because all you really have to do is just ink up the edges to add some dimension. There's also a matching stamp set, so if you like to do coloring and you wanted to do coloring, you could always stamp it out and color the images up and then die cut them out and use them on your card. So I'm not going to show all of this inking up because you kind of get the idea, but here is what it looks like in the end. And then I'm going to take those ginger snap top layering pieces and just add some glue to the back and put each of them on a white shadow layer. Now when you add them to the white shadow layer, you can see that you still have spots there for the eyes and nose. I did die cut some of the black cardstock, and I'm just using my little poker tool and just picking those little pieces. They're so little that you really need to just have something small to pick those up with and then just add them right in place. You can also use some of the 3D ink, or if you have some Nuvo drops, you can add that for the eyes and the nose if you don't want to deal with the small pieces of paper, because those eyes are quite small. There's also some spots there for the ears, so if you wanted to die cut some paper there, which I do, and add some pieces right back in for the ears, you can also do that. So notice that I'm just adding some glue to the actual die cut itself, the actual bear die cut, and then just placing the paper on top of the hole rather than trying to put the glue on the actual small piece of paper. So once I finish that, I will move on to the actual card base. So that card base puts some score lines, so just fold at all of those score lines to get your actual card base. This is a stand-up card base, so it will stand up on the table, and it is A2 in size, so it will fit in an A2 size envelope. So I'm going to go ahead and layer on the pattern paper onto the front of this card base. And then I will add glue to the back of the small squares that I cut out. Those are also some layering pieces, and add those to the center of the Step Up card. Next, I took the flower border die. I did die cut some of the mint chip cardstock from the Stamps of Life and just adding some color to that using the mint chip ink. So it's the matching ink for the cardstock. I also die cut the Forever Friends die cut the words in the grape cardstock and the layering pieces in the lemonade cardstock. I did put double-sided adhesive on the back of the cardstock before running those word dies through my die cut machine. Next, I am going to go ahead and add the bears. So one bear will be on the left large piece, and then the one bear will be on the right large piece of that center step up card. Then I'm going to add the flowers. So just add some glue there and then add them to the bottom of that card. And then I used this border die. It's just like a line. I die cut it out of, it's a curved line, and I die cut it out of mint chip cardstock. I did do 2 of them. Notice I just put glue in the center of that curve, and then I'm adding the word forever just to the center. Doing the same thing for the second one, so just add a little strip of glue to the center and add the word friends. And those 2 pieces will be added to the inside or the inside back of that card base. So now I'm going to add some glue on the front of those curved lines and then slide that die cut piece into the inside of the card and then press the back of those lines onto the card so that they stick. And I'm going to do that for both of them. So again, here I'm just checking for placement, and then I'm going to add some glue to the front of the green part of those curved lines, place that in the back or the inside of that card, and then press down with my fingers so that it adheres to that card base. And it says Friends Forever. Isn't that cute? So you can use those curved lines just to put your words on it, or if you wanted to add some flowers to those curved lines and add those to the center, but it allows you to have something there in the center of that card base. So next I used the bow die that came with the bear set, and I die cut 2 bows out of some pattern paper, one in pink and one in yellow. Just added some ink, some candy ink and some lemonade ink to the edges, and then just adding the bows to the top of the bear. Next, I used the ice cream cone and the popsicle die sets from the Ice Cream Truck Fold It die set, and I die cut the ice cream out of candy cardstock as well as some lemonade cardstock. I also did some ginger snap, but I didn't end up using the ginger snap. I just used the yellow and the pink one for the ice cream. So I'm just doing some paper piecing, and I'm inking up the edges of the ice cream with the lemonade ink as well as with the candy ink. So I'm going to end up using the bottom portion of the cone with the pink cardstock, and then the top part, the ice cream portion, in the yellow. And then as far as this popsicle, I die cut it out of the lemonade cardstock and just took a brown marker and colored the popsicle sticks. And then I'm just going to add some ink to the edges just for some added dimension. So I'm going to end up with 1 ice cream cone and 1 popsicle, and I'm going to put those in the bear's hand. And the reason why I didn't end up using the ginger snap cardstock was because when I tried it out and tried placing it there on the bear, it was actually blending in with the bear's skin and it didn't look good. So I needed a better contrasting color, so that's why I chose pink for the actual cone portion of that ice cream rather than ginger snap. So here I'm just gluing the popsicle down in the hand. So now I'm just going to add, I have these stickers, and if you've been a card kit member for a while now, then you probably have these ice cream stickers in your stash, but I'm just taking the actual sticker, putting it on a piece of cardstock, and then just cutting it out because I didn't want the entire sticker part on the back. I didn't want it sticky. I wanted to actually make it like a die cut. So I'm just trimming around the cardstock. And then once I have those cut out, I'm going to add those to the center step part towards the back of this card. So I'm just adding some glue on the bottom of the cone and then just adding those to the last 2 steps in this card. And then to finish up this card, I take my Nuvo glitter drops in Sherbet Shimmer and I just squeeze a little bit into the centers of these flowers to fill those holes in. And that will have to dry, so I'm just going to lay that flat to dry, and once it's dry you have your card. And isn't this adorable? So it just stands up on a table and it's super cute. I just love how it turned out. All the links to the products will be listed in the description box, and at the time of filming, this die set can be purchased on HSN. So if you like this video, please give me a like and be sure to subscribe for more card making tutorials. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.